We belong. Energy high, heart so bright. Tune in, feel the light. Global love taking flight. Every ride, sheer delight. Making waves across the seas. Love and joy in the breeze. Ride along live if you please. Bringing hope with such ease. Ride along. Join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong. With the host, we belong.
Are you a progressive young leader, a proactive emerging executive, a rising professional? Then you need appropriate cover for your vehicle. Introducing the Pro Motor Plan from Beacon. Car insurance that includes free loss of use, windscreen cover up to $3,500, free special perils, free accident forgiveness. Get Beacon's Pro Motor Plan today. Don't procrastinate. Call Beacon today at 440-4447 or visit Beacon.
Yeah. How are you doing, ladies and gentlemen? How things? Let me ask you guys a question. Don't lie, okay? Don't lie. It's okay to say the truth. Here, for this question. Right? It's okay to tell the truth, right? Did you miss me? Did you miss me? It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. Yes, you can say yes. Say yes, I miss you. Yes, it's fine. I miss you guys too. Let me tell all you what happened, right? Let me tell all you what happened, Jed. Yes, Dennis. Okay, you see? I like when you know, come out straight. So yesterday, let's go back from Friday, guys. For some crazy reason, Facebook decided that they would put a block on my account, right? And that block basically prevented me from going live. Yeah. The block from Friday prevented me from going live. So Friday, Saturday, I wanted to come on Saturday and say a couple of things. I couldn't do that. I couldn't even post. So I had to do a whole set of things to fix that. So yesterday night, Sunday night, I was convinced that everything was fixed and me and Facebook was on good terms. Only to find out yesterday while I tried to start the program, I was live only inside my studio, but nobody was seeing me. So I tried all sorts of things, guys. I even prayed. Yeah, I went on my knees. I said, I have to do this program because it's necessary. It was necessary. But Facebook wasn't having it. All right? So it wasn't my fault that I wasn't here yesterday. I was here. I was ready. But Facebook had other plans. So I apologize for Facebook messing up. So to be on today, we had to do all kind of contraption, right? We had to contact Facebook admin and tell them what what they're doing was wrong, and man, emails back and forth. Crazy, 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 crazy. You guys don't understand how hard I fight to be here with you guys. So is that I don't want to be here? I didn't want to be here yesterday. I wanted to be here. Facebook had other plans for me. And that's what pissing me off, right? Facebook, man. A lot of mercy matter, man. Come on, man. All you need to have better customer service on this, right? Because a lot of people depend on this program. A lot of people depend on content. And when they can't get it, someone called me and they told me they was depressed. Imagine that. Someone said they're driving from Pennsylvania to New York, and that is their companion. They're depressed. You know what I mean? You depressing people, Meta. Exactly. But okay, let's not dwell on the bad. Let us speak of the positive and the good, right? So, yesterday, over the weekend, guys, we've been following this story like a hawk. We've been following this story like a hawk, right? Very, very sad story coming out of Guyana with a young lady, Arianna Younge. And first and foremost, before I say anything else relating to this story, I must say condolences to the family. I cannot begin to imagine what anyone, any family, father, mother, sister, brother, cousin, any family member, what they would be going through in a time like this. To lose a young person, to lose anyone, in particular someone who has all their life ahead of them and lost them so tragically and so publicly. So I want to send out, on the behalf of Ride Along, I want to send out my condolences to the family of young Arianna Younge, right? I cannot imagine what you guys are going through. So we're going to get some facts and some timeline and get a broad sense of understanding of this story, because it's important that we put it into perspective, right? So coming up in the 6:30 hour, our segment 2, we're going to speak to Mr. Rickford Burke and also the MP for that district where Arianna Younge and her parents reside. So we're going to speak to them in the second segment of this program, right? They're going to come up shortly. So you're locked on, Crystal, right? So everybody share it and at followers. At followers. So all your family members, all your friends will get the notification. At followers, everybody. Also, another thing that's hot in the air, and I have to also send out our condolences as well, because over the weekend, we were tasked to provide shuttle service in St. Mark. And guys, it was a tragic event. One young man lost his life so tragically there in St. Mark. We also want to send out our condolences to the family, because today at 2:40 p.m., the young man was pronounced dead. And again, I cannot begin to imagine what a family will be going through in a time like this. What we're hearing about Wello is that young man is a community guy. I think I have a picture of him. He's someone that's always there, always active. This young man has done so much. I remember meeting him. He's a big fan of the program as well. So I just want to send our condolences to his family. At 2:40 p.m. today, he passed away after a shooting incident in St. Mark. All right, so sad thing, and those are the things that really pissing a lot of people off right now. And I'm going to do a whole program dedicated to this young man, because as I travel around Grenada, so many people have great things to say about him. So I'm going to do a whole program dedicated tribute to him. That might be tomorrow or Thursday, but we're going to do something, I promise you. All right? All right. Yes, absolutely. Good evening to you. Okay. All right. So, guys, let's move into first gear. All right? Now, following the incident, the tragic incident of Arianna Younge in Guyana, there was many speculation. Now, this young lady, as I said, who was found, all sorts of speculation because she was found in a pool at the hotel, right? And there are a lot of suspicion as to what happened. In case you didn't see it, I want to play back a quick clip of the father and his reaction after his daughter was found. Listen to this clip.
The police have started the building 4 or 5 times. I never go in the building. I never go in the building. The police started the building 4 or 5 times. I tell the police when they don't start me that to stay in the back.
No, you're fine.
Yeah,
And you refused to move. Why did you refuse to move? You said your daughter. What made you get this feeling that your daughter's still with you?
I tell you since I come here yesterday, my belly tell me my daughter is here. You hear? Since yesterday, my daughter barely tell me she's in here.
How you made her understand that she's in there? How you found her?
The bench and throw she in the pool. They bring her and throw her in the pool.
Did you get an opportunity to see the pool? At any point in time?
Search the pool this morning.
You searched the pool this morning?
Search the pool after 6 this morning with police. I didn't went there. You have 6 of my family. Search the whole building. I was standing right there watching them because the pool is right there. And nobody didn't saw a body. Yeah? And you check it after work. After 10. After 10. But 10. Somewhere around 10. We got to have body appear. Just so magically appear in the pool. There, alive.
So what at this point is your suspicion? What do you suspect?
My suspicion is what happened in this place for the years. Among the poor who die in this place and have no fish for share, nobody, no justice, nothing, right? And I know to myself, right? The same thing will happen. They will wait till we go when they have a find your body.
Yeah.
But this is why I stand and I stay here. And I will never move all and I see the your body.
Why say you move
It was today, I will stand whole day today. And tomorrow will be the same thing. The next day will be the same thing. But God.
You see any mark of violence on her?
I a lot of mark of violence. Or hands, or knee.
And bruise.
Different. It's very different. I don't like that.
And what do you want to see from here on out? I know a life is lost. What do you want to see from here on?
Justice. I would like to see justice for my son, for my daughter. I would like to see justice for the staff members who was working in there when my daughter was abducted. All the staff members, I tell the police them up there yesterday. I tell the police of each and every one of the staff because when them girls were acting staff, they walking inside there. But the radio will mess it all and laugh and I can't tell you all this.
All right, so that's the traumatized father after hearing the news. Now, I want you to pay particular attention to a couple of things that he said, right? He mentioned abducted. He believed that she was somehow abducted. He also said that he searched the pool before. So the pool was searched prior. There was nobody in the pool. Later, the body was found in the pool. Now, he also mentioned a couple key things. One, her hands, burned to her hands, burned to her knees. And we saw some pictures that look as if there was some kind of burned to her face, right? Now, speculations went ripe. Everybody's speaking about this because they're saying there's some sort of thing something that is fishy. Something fishy went on. Yesterday, a pathologist came in from the United States and he did an independent autopsy on the young child. And the conclusion to that autopsy was that it was because of drowning. Now, that made the entire population even more frantic because, as the father said, he was there. He didn't see nobody. He searched the pool. There was nobody. All of a sudden, the body appeared in the pool. So it's a lot of questions to answer. I brought on my next guest today because he knows and understands a lot of the things that came up in terms of the questions that a lot of people have. My next guest, he is a former Obeah Man. I say this because that's what he is. That's what he was. He was an Obeah Man, but now he deals with a different aspect of spirituality. Spearman been on the program. Spearman been on the program before, and he was able to help us understand about spiritual ritual and those type of things. And he also have something to say, which I think is interesting to this whole conversation. So I want to welcome him to the program right now. Spearmo, are you there, sir?
I am. I am. Are you hearing me?
I'm hearing you loud and clear, sir. Loud and
Yes.
clear, loud and clear. And
Amen.
thanks.
To God be the glory.
Thank you, thank you. Thanks for joining us, PMO, on this. I know I called you last minute, but you did take the call, and you did, in fact, cut your live off so you could come and chat with us here. So I really appreciate that.
Yes.
PMO, based on all of this information that you're hearing, what's your assessment
All
about
right.
what happened?
Before we go any further, Father God, we just want to thank you for your mercies. We just want to thank you for your spirit of truth. We just want to thank you for being God. We bless you. We honor you right now in the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth. And so, Father, we ask for the spirit of truth to lead and to guide us right now in the mighty name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Amen. Okay.
Amen.
Now, based upon what I've heard, all right, and I'm not watching the program, so I don't know much about the program. I must say, I don't know about the program. I wasn't watching the program, but I saw the reaction of the father, and I saw some video clips, and my condolences to the family. All right. But in order for you to understand what is going on, then you understand the realm of the spirit that you need to understand. All right. I don't know anything about the hotel, so I cannot speak on the behalf of the hotel, but I know about the realms of the spirit. And I understand about most of what happened in the realms of the spirit. During the construction of most places of residence and commercial building, when the foundation is being dig, all right, we have individuals who present these foundation as sacrificial offering. What does it entail? Which you have people who would have slit the neck of fowls, all right, and sprinkle the blood in the foundation. All right, you have individuals who would take rum and they would invoke the realm of the spirit. Now, what happened is that when the construction of these buildings are finished, it now become not just a monument, amen, or a business place, but it also become an altar. And so from time to time, blood would be required from this hotel. All right. The management of the hotel would have already know this because this is done in the form of getting customers. All right. So that they can stay on the market. So I am not going to jump and say this is what happened. I'm not going to jump and say that. But in most of these business places, individuals are used as sacrificial offering. All right. And I'm not trying to imply anything here, but these things are real and we have to take these things in mind. So chances are the first thing they can do in this regard, Junior, is to find out when was this hotel built. And if this hotel was built any time, in this month, like for instance, let's just say the hotel was complete this month, or the foundation when start dig this month. This is how the family need to get their answer now. So what they need to do is to find out when the foundation, when the ground was first broken. That's what they need to do. Find out when the ground was first broken and if it compared to now when their child is being killed. Or find out when the hotel was being opened and find out if it is in line with the same month that the daughter was being killed. The reason for this is very simple. Whenever one do any sacrificial offering, then it have to be every month that they, like for instance, it upon a January, every January a sacrificial offering have to be taken. So that is what they can do to find out when was the building open, when was the ground broken, and find out the corresponding time so that I can make the comparison. That is the first thing they need to do.
Wow. And that we're gonna get that information. I'll search that information and get that information for you.
They need
But
to do it.
yeah, Spimo, why a young child, why a human being? Why there would be any sacrificial offering of a human in any instant?
All right, let us go to the realm of the spirit. According to the realm of the spirit, there have to be a sacrificial offering. In everything that you're doing, you have to give offering. Now, the offering can come in all different forms. It can be your offering of your time. So I'm going to spend time to make the stream work, which is the live stream work. I have to commit myself to it. So offering is that me going to spend my time. So in everything that you're doing, you have to make some form of sacrificial offering or a sacrifice twice. You get me? So even if you want to come up with skill, you want to be rich, you have to ensure that you work hard and you invest more. You have to do some sacrificial offering in everything. Well, this is the same thing that happened in the realms of the spirit. For us to be closer to God, we have to tell God, God, I am going to make my life a sacrificial offering to you. So something have to die or something have to give up. You get me? So you're going to deny yourself of something, some pleasure, so that you can get what you want or to accomplish what you want. Likewise, you're going to tell God, I'm not going to live my life, but I'm going to ask you to live what your life through me. So you have to give up something where the sacrificial offering is concerned. Why are human flesh or why are human life? You may ask. Let us go back to the book of Genesis. In the book of Genesis, we find out that Jehovah God would have told us, I want you to bring me a sacrificial lamb. So Jehovah God required a lamb. But Cain changed the script. Why? Because mankind is the ruler of the earth. So mankind decided to change the script because what people need to understand, Adam represents the first man, Cain represents the firstborn son of Adam. So he represents the continuation of humanity. So what Cain did was to take over from Adam, so to speak. All right. So Adam now changed the manuscript or change the covenant. I don't want to sacrifice animal. I want to sacrifice human being. So what happened is that he sacrificed his first human sacrificial offering, which is his brother Abel. All right. And from there, the spiritual realm required that we sacrifice a human being in order to get monetary gain. So the thing is now changed. So when I was in the dark world, all right, you have individual who sacrifice them relative. Now, the relatives that we often sacrifice, are those that are closer to the individual.
So
All
hold
right?
on, hold on. You're saying that when you were in the other side, and I
Yes.
did introduce you as a former Obeah Man. A lot of people
Yes.
say, what do you mean by a former Obeah Man? It is what it was. The man was a former Obeah Man. He used to do all these things, right? That's what he used to do. So people used to come to you to sacrifice the family member to get
Yes,
something?
man. Well, you see, when you're making a sacrificial offering, it have to be a family member. All right. So what the sacrificial offering would require is that it require that you sacrifice somebody that is close to you. It can be your mother, or it can be a favorite son, favorite daughter. But the devil seems to take the best. All right, he seems to want to take the best. The question I want to ask now is very simple. All right, let me not jump the gun. Just leave it there for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But these are the things that happen. So if a sacrificial offering is done, then it requires that you give some form of sacrifice.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Is this something that is done often, especially among with children?
Okay. It is, listen, you ask if it is done regularly. As I
Yes.
said before, it is a yearly sacrifice. All right, because let's just say it happened. That's why I keep on asking, when was the foundation of the building broken? And when was the building complete? Or when was the hotel dedicated?
Uh-huh.
Because it can be the tree time now. When it was finished, all right, fine. This is what you need to look on. When was the ground broken?
Uh-huh.
When was the building complete? and when was the building dedicated and open. So somewhere along there, they would have made a commitment to the dark world. All right? Somewhere along there, they would have made a commitment to the dark world. Now, what happened is that they would have to sacrifice somebody. You have some person dying, and you find out that you cannot explain why they die. And they are going to die on the compound, you know. They are not going to sick and then go to hospital and the compound, because that is where the sacrificial offering have to take place. Now, the more the individual, the more offering that is given on the compound is the more the chiggy bank or the money chick will be multiplied. So the more offering, you give me soul, I give you fame and fortune. That's how it is in the dark world.
Now, I want to ask you about this, right? Now, when they found the child, they said that they saw some burnt on her hands on her feet, and I believe I saw something to her face. Right? Is that something that is done when sacrificial offering is made? Is that the process, or what you expect to see if something like that were to happen?
What happened is that whenever somebody tried to disfigure the face, it would be that they are trying to cover the identity or get rid of the identity. This have nothing to do with spirituality. That's how it is in the realm of the spirit. All right. It have nothing to do with spirituality. But somebody may be trying to cover up the crime by dismantling, disfiguring the face. Why the identity? Because of the fact that your face is your identity, and your fingers give you print as well. No,
Right.
she's a small child, so she wouldn't be having a fingerprint. But these are the things that they use to identify you in the physical realm. This is also used in the realm of the spirit as well as identity. All right. So in this regard, I will not jump to conclusion and say, all right, this is what happened and this is what don't happen. But what I will say is that this death is not just a thing that pop up out of the ordinary. All right. This is based upon what I'm seeing and based upon what I'm hearing. This is a sacrificial offering that was presented. Now, why children, you may ask, is because of the fact that I can bet you and win you that this young lady was a virgin. And so what happened is that the innocence of the young lady, all right, is what causing the problem. Now, two things the parents need to do upon examination of the parent should look if there is any cut on the body, any cut on the body. So what I would do if I were the parents is search the body to find out if there is any cut, because there ought to be some form of blood in order for the sacrificial offering to be taking place. So you're going to look for physical cut on the body, anywhere on the body. So let us say there is no cut on the body. The next thing you need to do now is to find out, because if they did not cut her, then it would be now that they would have offered her as a sexual offering. So chances are the authority will not tell you that she was molested. Being that the crowd is already irated, the authority will not tell you that she's already because in order for the sacrifice to take place, there have to be blood. So whether the blood is taken physically from the body parts or it is taken from the canal, which is called the life canal, which is our vagina. So I'm sorry to be speaking like this, but I have to be telling you the fact. All right. So what they should be focusing on now is to find out if there is any cut on the body. If there is no cut, then find out if the child was being molested. If the child is being molested or was being molested, it means that the child was sacrificed.
They did a independent autopsy
Yes.
that showed no signs of sexual assault, as reported yesterday by the president of Guyana.
Yes.
That was made. Well, he made that mention yesterday.
Yes.
So again, we're just going by what was put out there. But what baffles me, right, is using a human being, and a few people told me this, that they're suspected that that is exactly what happened, using a human being and a young child like that for sacrifice, and the insanity of it as a layman thinking about it. Who would bring themselves, how could you bring yourself to that, to sacrifice a young 11-year-old innocent person? Like, the mindset of that is just, again, it's mind-boggling to me. uh, I don't know what would bring someone to do something like that if it was the case of sacrificial offering. So I'm trying to understand, in other words.
It's called greed.
Greed.
Greed. One word, greed. 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 So
Mhm.
I have, but I want more. Greed. It all boils down to greed. All right. So what happened is that if it is that, let's just say, if it is a sacrifice, the sacrificial offering should be the owner of that building should be sacrificing one of his own.
Mm.
That would be it. Or a relative or a close friend should be the sacrificial offering. However, in exception, it could be that they can have other offering, but it have to be the offering from somebody visiting the hotel. All right. It have to be a customer from the hotel. All right. So based upon what you're saying, that the governor would have said that the child was not molested. Well, to be honest with you, the governor could be covering up so that there is no more disruption. I'm not going to say that. All right. But it could be. All right. But chances are this child was molested. And I speak without apology.
Mm. We got a call on the line. Let's take this call. We got a caller on right now. Caller, live. Where you calling us from?
Hi, good evening, Grader.
Yes, hi.
Um, I'm in sympathy with the 11-year-old family out in Guyana, but I've been following up that take. What are the gentleman very interested? I mean, at least in the topic, and whereby he mentioned they had to find out when was the hotel built and so on for, and listening to, I mean, not everything we see in the media, but I've been following up to say that whereby different people make the statement that they're not the first child being dying there, I mean, and as you say, it was a hush hush that went under the carpet. So they have to, with that one going now, that 11-year-old dying now, they have to put together the last two dead to see if you're around the same April time and go along with the day to see that. And with the gentleman coming there, that should come the cake to my being.
Oh,
And
so
I support what she's saying.
so you're saying that based on reports, that's not the first report of a child death at that particular establishment
surrounding that hotel. So we need to deep in that, and if it's the fact, and the gentleman already mentioned, it is a special time. For example, every 5th of April you celebrate a birthday. So there is good and there is bad with the evil forces. Around the time they're going to celebrate it around the same time. It don't have to be a different month. So I just want to go around that circle a little bit.
Right. Okay. Thank you, caller. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So does that make it a little bit clear for you? Know that they're saying that that's not the first child.
And it wouldn't be the last. It wouldn't be the last.
Well, they burned down the place.
That's what make it the last, because that is the only way they could have. Listen carefully. If this place was still in someday in governance, then it would continue like this, because the place is already cursed now. As I said before, notice how I started out. Is it possible that they would have break the foundation and dedicate the building to the dark world? Now, if the building was dedicated to the dark world, it now become what you call an altar. And on an altar, every individual who attend that place would now become a sacrificial offering. All right. Now, the best offering in the dark world are those who are virgin, are those who are young. So it's about innocence. So the more innocence is the individual, is the more reward you get. That's how it is in the dark world. So if the person wants more riches, you get a young virgin. And this is one of the things that is happening all over. because this is not like just happening in Grenada. These are the things we have a lot of missing.
Guyana.
Guyana, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. We have a lot of individual in Jamaica that are missing, and these are a sacrificial offering as well. So it's not, listen, we have people here that are offering children as sacrificial offering because they want to go up the financial ladder. And listen carefully. We can't deny these things because these things are true. These things are real. All right? And most of these places that we call house of worship or churches, they are responsible for these things. Because when I was opening in the dark world, I know somewhere me go learn it. I know in a bush me go. A church teach me how to operate in the dark world. At church, people work witchcraft, you know. People need to understand these things. Church people work witchcraft. Church people work witchcraft. And there's 3 different churches: the church of man, the church of God, and the church of Satan. We need to understand these things. You get me? So I know every building you hear, and you hear it say it's a church, mean that it's the church of God. It can be the church of occultic, or the church of man, church of Satan. You get me? And these things require blood. All right? So the individual now that make this hotel, the investor that make this hotel, could it be that he's a Satanist? I'm just saying. Could it be? You notice I use could it be? Could it be
right.
that he was a Satanist or is a Satanist? All right.
So what do you say to people, even some folks on the live who say, yo, that's crap. What you're saying makes no sense. They don't believe in that Obeah thing is not real. What do you say to people who don't believe any of that stuff?
The question I would ask, you don't believe in Obeah, but you believe in what is called karma. Now, if you don't believe in Obeah, then you shouldn't believe in karma. And if you don't believe in karma, then you shouldn't believe in Obeah, because Obeah is what we call karma. In other words, Obeah is actually the opposite of the right. All right. For instance, we call it righteousness because you do things that is right. And Obeah is the opposite of. Now, what is Obeah? That is what people need to understand. What is Obeah? If you go to the book of 1 Samuel 15, verse 22, it said, obedience, as in obeying the voice of God, is the best thing you can do. Living right is the best you can do. However, verse 23 said, anytime you choose to live in rebellion against God, the presence of God leave you, and then a next spirit starts speak to you. That is what we call Obeah. When the spirit of divination now takes over. And that is why I said it's church people that work witchcraft, because these are people who worship, but they are being deceived by the underworld. And when they are being deceived by the underworld, what is going to happen now is that the underworld is going to tell them what is required. We have a famous place here in Jamaica that we call the Flat Bridge. Every now and then, demons would visit individuals in their visions and their dream, telling them to come and offer blood sacrificial offering to us. And oftentimes you see people go down there sacrificing goat and cow and all these things, depending on what the realm of the spirit asks. Only because of the fact that the spirits that are living in the water would told them to come and sacrifice blood unto me. Except you do this, I will start to take everybody that crossed the bridge. So it is a form of sacrificial offering, peace offering, as to tell the demons, do not take any human being. Here is the blood that you required. And these things are real. All right? Now, if you're going to say that these things are not real, then you're actually saying indirectly that Jehovah God himself is not real. So anybody who believes in God should and must believe also in the dark world, which is the underworld, because it is God who tells us about the underworld. We did not know these things. God is the one who tells us about the underworld.
Listen, Spearmore, thanks for this information. And I know a lot of people are torn between, believing and understanding what you're saying, and even coming to terms with everything that you just summed up here. And it's understandable. Some people might think that, this is just a bunch of crap that we're speaking, and that's understandable as well. But thanks for taking the time to chat with us here. Any last word you wanna give out there on
I would I
next step?
would ask that the father, or should I say the parents, find out if there is any cut on the child. All right, find out if there are any cut on the child. So you're gonna search the body to find out if there is any cut on the child. All
Okay.
right. If it is that there is a cut on the child, then you need to question now, how did that cut reach there? The next thing they need to find out if the child, based upon what you said, they said that the child was not sexually assaulted.
Right.
I think that the parents should get what you call an independent. So they should not wait on this individual. This what they call him, pathology.
Just
They
yeah,
should, yeah, they
independent.
should get their own
Yeah.
individual. But because I strongly believe that this child was being sexually molested.
Okay.
All right,
Well,
I strongly believe that.
all right. Thank you so much,
And
Spearmore.
the reason why I didn't come out like that, this is a sensitive matter, so we don't want to be the trigger of anything. So we have to use wisdom, but
Yes.
just read between the line. All right, people, just read between the line. This was a sacrificial offering that was done.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Spearmore, thank you so much for taking the call. We appreciate you for putting that into perspective for us. All right. We'll keep in touch, my brother.
All right.
All right. Cool. Yeah. Guys, I want to add to this conversation right here, bring into this conversation right here, Mr. Rickford Burke, who is a resident Guyanese. Rickford been on this story from the beginning. Rickford is hosts his own TV program as well. Rickford, welcome to the ride. How are you doing, sir?
Good night, sir. Good to have me, my
Yes,
brother.
yes. Rickford, help me create a timeline of what happened in here. Well, before you do that, let me just tell you what we spoke about earlier, because this
Mhm.
is something that I heard a lot of people talking about as it relates to. This is something fishy, something more than what they're saying actually happened. So SPMO kind of put that into perspective about the sacrificial sacrifice and all that other stuff. But give us a timeline on this particular event, Rickford. What happened?
Well, that's what we're still trying to find out. This is what we know. Last Wednesday, this child, about 1 o'clock or so, went to this facility, which is called or was called Doubleday Hotel. It's located at Tushin on the we say West Coast Demerara, but it's so West Demerara, so Region 3, which is across the river from Georgetown, the Demerara River. It's called West Demerara Essequibo Islands.
Yes.
But when you get to a certain part, I would say about 25 miles beyond Georgetown, if you travel with the bridge, um, that latter part of it, before you get to the Essequibo, is called East Bank Essequibo.
Uh-huh.
So Tushin is located at East Bank Essequibo. I used to live in that area. I used to live in the Leonora Police Compound. Leonora is the village where you have the government headquarters, like for that, not the region, but the police division. And so she went to this hotel with her several other family members. The grandmother said about 20 of them in all. She was taken by the grandmother. She had her cousins there, etc. And they went to swim. Apparently, in order to swim, I think I might be losing power at this with this camera. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
Um, so yeah, it looks like it's good. So they went to swim. In order to go swim, you have to have bands.
Yeah.
And they purchased the bands and they went into the pool. She said about 15 minutes, not longer than 50 minutes after that, one of the other children came to her and asked her for something to eat. And so she said, okay, call all the others, let's go eat. And they found everybody else except this child. So this is within minutes, 50 minutes of her entering the pool, she disappeared. They raised an alarm. They started to look for the child. They couldn't find her. They called the police. And the police responded, but the police responded in a posture to protect the hotel.
Mhm.
And so this search continued, and the police, first of all, the hotel raised alarm bells by saying that their cameras don't work. Now, you run a big hotel, this is a big place. and your cameras don't work. So they didn't believe that, so they suspected something happened, and they started to check cameras in the neighborhood, and they checked the camera from like an adjacent home, and the cameras showed them where everybody entered, including the child, and the camera never showed the child leaving. In the meantime, the police commanding officer for that division, this is an assistant commissioner of police, came and lied to the family and did everything he can to lure them away from the hotel. And we believe, and the family believes, and the rest of the country believe, that that was a ploy to get them to move from the hotel so that they could move the body. Now, the commanding officer told the family, and the police put out a statement saying they have video footage of this child leaving in a black and red Ram car. They gave the license plate number, and the police statement said that they're in pursuit of this car and that they have seen the child. The commanding officer literally came and told the mother that, and was pleading, almost begging with them to leave the hotel. In the meantime, he has his men guarding the hotel. And so this child never left the hotel. So while the police, and this is what angered people, while the police was guarding this hotel, they were protecting whoever was doing whatever with this child that caused her to die. And eventually, they refused to move. And they kept insisting that that child wasn't there. I tell you what, Junior, somebody sent me this video of them outside there from the afternoon. I never stopped watching what was going on until they found the child. I never stopped. I didn't sleep Wednesday night. I couldn't. I felt that I had to stand watch with these people. And during the course of the night, my organization, the Caribbean Ghana Institute for Democracy, issued 2 statements. 1, condemning the police action, and 2, calling for a boycott of this hotel and the business establishment. So those people stood there, the family members and the community members stayed there all night because they had this premonition that this child was there. The police, sometime around 1 o'clock, the father said, came and literally chased him off the road. They were trying to get this child away, to get the parents away from this child. They stayed there all night. The next morning, things heat up. More members of the community come out. People, to me, didn't even go to school or go to work. The entire community came out. And the footage is right there. The commanding officer came to the woman on live TV, claiming to be showing her some video footage of her daughter in some minibus going somewhere and all sorts of nonsense. But they insisted that they move from this place. They never moved. And things got intense, and they pushed past the police, the crowd.
Right.
Pushed past the police and entered the building. Now, mind you, before this happened, they searched this pool several times. The police searched the pool. The hotel staff searched the pool. The family members searched the pool. The police searched the pool in the presence of the family members, I understand, 6 times. Media companies went there. One social media commentator went to the pool tonight. He did a live broadcast from the pool, showing the pool, saying, here's the pool. As a matter of fact, while we're discussing, I'll send this video to you. Okay. Saying, look at the pool. Here's the pool. You can see it. It's clear. The water is clear. There's a child in here. He did a live broadcast from there. Somebody flew a drone over the pool, showing that you could see straight to the bottom of the pool. And the child was not in there. So once they pushed past the police and the security and the staff of the hotel and went in there, whoops, the child appeared in the pool. And the father said, when he The father jumped in the pool and brought this body of the child out. And I can send you that video as well. But while he was doing that, he said he saw wet footprints moving away from the pool back to the hotel. No, nobody swam that day. The place was closed down at that point in time. So who did that? And they're saying that they're police officers who allegedly were working with this guy from the hotel who were there, and they identified one police officer said his pants was wet up to his knee. And that same police officer was later seen in a room where the fire started. Now, after they found the body, all hell broke loose. There's this allegation that we know that the building burned down. The accusation is that the protesters burned down the building. Well, we now think differently. We believe that the police burnt the building down, or somebody who acting as an agent for the hotel owners burned the building down. And also, next thing we knew, the owner's home was on fire. The police then said they have the owner in custody and 3 police officers in custody. To this day, we haven't heard anything. Now, let me say this. Since this incident happened, the first time the president held a press conference to update the people was last night, after the pathologist report came out and the people created a rampage throughout the country. The police commissioner, up to now, has not faced the people. Up to now, the crime chief has not faced the people. And I said, the first time the president addressed the nation on this issue, faced the nation at a press conference and take questions, was last night. Other than that, he was doing bits and pieces of commentary here, where he went to the people, to the homes, the home of the victim, and was trying to tell them they should stay off the street. And he said, blocking the street is unacceptable. And the aunt told him, hey, listen, when you were in the opposition, you blocked the street. And you don't only block the street, you were being a thug because that same president attempted to turn over the car with like 20 or 40 other hooligans from his party. They tried to, I have to change this.
Yeah.
It's showing a red light, right? Which means that it's dying. Let me change it and come back. Maybe you could take a call or something in the meantime.
Yeah, no problem. 718-701-5720. A lot of questions there on everything that Rickford just said. A whole heaping set of questions. I know you guys have questions as well. Now, first thing I want to find out, and probably some of you guys could help me. Why would the police try to conceal that piece of information? Or why would the police, what would the police have to do with this in the first place? Right? And if the information is accurate, as Rickford is saying, he said that there was footprints from the pool leading out. And a particular police officer, I haven't seen that footage independently, so it's left to be verified. A particular police officer appeared there with wet pants. Again, I haven't seen those footage independently, so I want to find out. So what does the police have to do with this particular crime? What is the connection? We're asking the questions. I'm sure you have a lot of questions as well. We open up the phone lines right now, 718-701-5720. That's 718-701-5720. We're speaking about this particular incident that is making rave reviews in Guyana right now. We're talking about the young Arianna Younge. The child body was found inside of the pool. That particular hotel was later burnt to the ground. And I'm sure that there are and still will be many, many questions after this. We got Rickford Burke back on with us. Rickford, you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
Okay, good. All right, so we got a call. Let's take this call on the WhatsApp right now. Caller on the WhatsApp, go right ahead.
Good night to everyone. Good night to Rickford Burke and everyone that viewing. So this is my take. So you see, even to the youngest person could understand. So if you go to a pool, you and your family, you hearing me, right?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Good. You and your family go to a pool. This child go to this pool about 1 o'clock. Then this child go missing about 2 o'clock. Between that time, a lot of people was in this pool. So when they raise the alert, so the first thing you're gonna do, the people around, they're gonna check in the pool. You see what I'm saying? They're gonna check in the pool because remember, you won't see this girl. You raise the alarm, the girl is not around. You check the pool, you won't see this girl. And then this girl appear inside the pool.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. So that girl was put inside the pool by someone. So that is my take on that.
All right. Thank you, caller.
Thanks.
All right. Cool. Yeah, Rickford.
Yeah.
So Rickford, why would the police? I know we're pointing fingers and fingers was pointed at the police, but what would the police gain from all of this?
Junior, the Ghana police force is exceptionally corrupt. It's probably the most corrupt police force in the Western Hemisphere. And it's probably very difficult for people in the Caribbean, in the United States, and other countries around the world to believe that the Ghana police force is exceptionally corrupt. Let me tell you how corrupt the Ghana police force is. The Ghana police force, a Ghana police force sergeant shot and killed a young man. They just pull up, we have the video. They just pulled up in a black minibus, unmarked, a private minibus. Jumped out. This young man saw them and he ran. The police sergeant shot and killed the young man on the scene. Well, not on the scene necessarily. No, not on the scene. Shot him for no reason. Said that he was wanted for questioning with regard to the alleged sexual assault of a 14-year-old girl. These police officers put this young man in the bus. When they put him in the bus, he was alive. He was moving. He was trying to pull up his pants. Right? They drove around with this young man. People said they circled the block 3 times. Apparently went somewhere else because the time they shot him and left to the time they got to the hospital, which is not far, they had to have been somewhere or stop somewhere. And by the time they got to the hospital, the young man was pronounced dead. The police then issued a statement saying the young man saw the police, tried to escape, tried to run a fence, and the policeman pursued him, grabbed his pants, and in trying to restrain him, the gun went off accidentally and he was shot. And there's a video. There's a video showing the police run behind the man and shoot him. The police never withdrew the statement. Same thing, we had riots. They shot the people. The people pelted the police with bottles. A policeman literally pulled out his gun and make boom, shoot a young man in his head and kill him. This is in Linden. This is 2 weeks ago. Junior, about in February this year, a madman took a knife and was running up the main highway on the East Coast at Maikoni, where my dad is from. And he slashed a couple of people. The police then shot him in his foot. This is how the police is going to restrain a madman. Shoot him in his foot. That tears him running. Shoot him in his foot. He then got crazy and started running. He's running down the road. A gentleman who my family is familiar with, who knows him, reached out to him and was trying to restrain and was trying to calm him down and restrain him. During this period of time, the man wrestled, my technical guys are telling me center up. The guy wrestled, the madman began wrestling with the other gentleman, Mr. Williams. The madman's name is Mr. Pierre. Mr. Williams is a good Samaritan. He's trying to do what the police can do. The police then opened fire, shot and killed both of them, and then issued a statement saying the madman stabbed Mr. Williams and killed him. People in the healthcare sector were so disgusted by the lie that they told, that they leaked the autopsy report to me.
Mm.
And I had to reveal that the police was lying. That the man, Mr. Williams, just had one little cut on his hand and sustained several gunshot wounds. He wasn't killed by any stab wound. So this is the nature of the police force. The police force is an agent and a political activist organization for the government. I'm in New York. Because I am exposing corruption in Guyana and racism by this government, they put some businessman to make up some story that I call him to extort money. They then put out a wanted bulletin for me. Write the US government. Wrote the US government, the Attorney General of the United States, asking them to charge me with extortion and send me back to Guyana because they want to kill me. This is the nature of the government of Guyana. And we have been trying to explain this to the world, and nobody has been listening. That this government is so corrupt, it is unimaginable, it is incomparable with the rest of the world. Now, coming back to this issue here, the police make up this story. Apparently, somebody in the police force probably got some beef with this man, put out the man's car number. The police then met him crossing the Demerara Harbor Bridge, stopped the man, lock you up for 12 hours on a make-up story. And I tell you what, Junior, only Jesus Christ can come from heaven and tell me that if the parents didn't stay there, had they moved, they would have moved that body from that hotel, take it and dump it, and charge that man with murder. That's the nature of the Guyana police force. And the rest of the Caribbean, I know a lot of people are watching. I'm carrying this on my social media, and I'm seeing 23,000 on my social media. So people from all over the Caribbean are watching, and they should know what is happening in Guyana.
Right.
And it is only happening to people who are opposed to the government, primarily African Guyanese, but not limited to African Guyanese alone.
All right, hold on 1 second there, Rickford. Let's just take a quick call. We have two calls. We have one call on the phone line, and we have one call on the WhatsApp.
Once you don't take a call from Kwame McCoy, sorry, go ahead.
Caller on the WhatsApp. Go right ahead.
Yes, I'm calling from UK.
Go ahead, UK.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Pollard.
Okay, go right ahead, sir.
And we have a team right now in Guyana. And what I can tell Rickford Burke and the rest of lawyers who was involved in this whole incident, the first thing they did was wrong. You should ask from day one to let the FBI alone to come and do everything. Based on that, you would know the water. If she died by drowning, you would know exactly where the water comes from. And that's your first mistake.
Let me stop the caller right there. The lawyer for the family wrote the...
Hold on a second. He cannot hear you because I'm taking him to the WhatsApp. So I'm just gonna yeah. Caller, go right ahead. Record your respond to me in a little bit. Caller, go right ahead.
That's the first wrong you're jumping.
Okay.
You should ask for the FBI first, and this would be the perfect step to go instead of going to any else thing. Because the FBI would tell you exactly, yes, she drunk, we're not saying whatever, but they would
say the same thing. Can I?
Exactly.
Caller, you're repeating yourself. So just, is there a second point? We have a lot of calls on the line that we have to take.
And second thing,
yes,
the Guyana police force is not what Rickford Burke and the rest may say. Yes, we have a part of the police force, but not everybody is there is bad.
Okay.
The top brands is, yes, some might be bad, but they have the top brands in the Guyana police force is very 100% professional. So Report wanted to make certain statement also when the police is doing good.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carlos. Thank you so much. Yeah, Rickford, respond to him. And
First of all, the caller is uninformed. The attorney for the family, Darren Reid, on Friday, wrote the president and asked the president for the forensic pathologist from Delaware, the chief forensic pathologist for the state of Delaware, who's actually Trinidadian, to represent the family at the autopsy, to help perform the autopsy. And that happened. The second thing Mr. Wade did is ask for the FBI, Scotland Yard, and Canadian Mounted Police to conduct investigation because they don't have any confidence in the police force. The government has refused. I know for sure a very senior police officer contacted me to voice his frustration that they too wanted either the FBI, Scotland Yard, or Canadian Mounted Police to conduct this investigation, and there was resistance in the government. So the government has not responded, and the FBI cannot jump and come to a country like that. There are certain protocols that have to be observed. The government has to invite them, etc. And it's a government-to-government engagement. It's just not the family and us could call. So all of us called. The first night, while I was watching this event unfold, we issued a statement calling for the FBI to be invited to conduct this investigation. Every political party in the opposition called for the FBI. The family called for the FBI. Civil society organizations called for the FBI. News organizations called for the FBI. The government has consistently resisted any international law enforcement agency helping to conduct these types of investigations because they're scared of what will be uncovered. They prefer to run to the RSS, which is the Regional Security Service, which is a CARICOM facility, which comes and rubber stamps what the Guyana Police Force does. So yes, a lot of people, including myself, my organization, and the family attorney requested the assistance of the FBI. It was declined by the government so far.
Let's go back to the phone line. We have another caller on line. Caller, go right ahead. Sorry, excuse me. Yeah, caller, go right ahead.
Yes, I agree with what Rickford said. Just recently, some honest police in the force decided to seize some cocaine and they lodge it at the police department.
Yeah.
Now, retired senior police explained to us that where this cocaine is stored, not anybody could get to that cocaine. However, the cocaine went missing and was replaced with flour. So in other words, the same cocaine ended up back out in the street. That is one evidence of the corruption and the trust that people of Guyana lose in the police force. Secondly, in Esriquebo, a man was sleeping in his bed. The police went in the man's house, shot the man and killed him. The police force report come that he attacked the police, and then the wife come out and give us the story that the man was sleeping in his bed. Up to this day, we don't know which police sent down the order to kill this man. So that is what we as Guyanese have to live with in this country. Once you're poor, there is no justice. This little girl, if it was certain political, or if it was any friend, family, or favorite of the government, since the afternoon when the girl go missing at 1 o'clock, they would have locked down that place by 3 o'clock. God have to come down and tell me that they would not lock down that place and they would have find that child. But because you are not friend, family, or favorite of the government, these are the things that poor people have to face in this country. And I could go on and think and tell you about all of these things. Imagine the top rank of police. One police officer have 200 and something financial charge and all of this. Even the top cop himself collected with his own confession, like his pay, what 2 years of pay, said he collect as donation for some wedding. How can a police? So if a businessman gonna give a policeman so much cash, that means whenever the businessman do crime, automatically no brainer. The businessman got to be the yes man. The top cop got to be the yes man because he collecting the people money. So that is the level of injustice that a lot of people are facing. Thank you.
All right, thank you, caller. Thank you so much. We got another caller on the on the phone line. Let me see if I can bring them in right now. Caller on the phone line, go right ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, hi, caller. Go right ahead. Yeah, caller.
Hello?
Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Go right ahead, caller.
I call in connection with the caller that called before this caller that finished. What you saying about the guy in the police force got tapped? The owner of the top brass. The owner of the top brass is a pack of crooks. The owner of the top brass and the guy in the police force is a pack of crooks. I don't know what which part of the world this fellow live in, or which part of the guy he live in that he talking about at the top of the top rank is get good cop. Never. Akins collect $8 million for Mr. Buta's wedding. He's a wedding planner. The old top brass and the guy in the police force is thieves. I don't know where this man, the fella that called before this fellow was talking about the top brass and the guy in the police force is that good police. Never. Never. The commissioner is a thief. This one will be.
Hold on. We have to disclaimer that statement, right? We cannot call the person a thief if we have no verifiable information that the man thief anything. So I have to disclaimer that.
Okay.
All right. So
now
the guy did.
With Arianna.
Yeah.
With Arianna. Now he was standing right there trying to distract that crowd from that child. Trying to if the boy, the father for the child saying belly telly, that's the child in there. And the mother was gonna move, the mother was gonna move and follow the car because he keep telling the woman that the woman gone with the child gone with the car, and the mother was gonna move and the father is the body who insists my child is in there, and they never move. Then they don't come and tell me, okay, let me give them the benefit of the doubt that this child drowned. What? Which part is wrong? At least that's in the pool. Not in the pool. You see how they terrorize this baby. I don't even want to call that child. That's a baby. They terrorize a baby. Yesterday when they give us warning that this child died from drowning, I cried so bad. I died in this house crying. We had a candlelight vigil in Barbados. I couldn't even go out to the thing at the right time. I went out there, spent half an hour because I took a few candles. I just spent half an hour because if you hear I talking, my voice gone. I cried so bad.
Right.
They terrorize a baby. There's a baby.
Yes. We feel your passion, caller. We feel your passion. Thank you for your input, okay? Thank you so much.
Ricky, good night.
Good night.
Yes.
Who's this?
Diane, Polly.
All right.
Junior, let me say this too. So the autopsy was conducted yesterday by three pathologists, one nominated by the government, an independent one, I don't know what he was there for, and the one by the family. I've spoken, and there was a doctor representing the family's interests who was also there. He was not a pathologist. I actually spoke to him, and I spoke to the attorney for the family twice today. The conclusion of the pathologist is that she died by drowning, which means water in her lungs. Now, I saw that the president, in his comments, said, the pathologist said that she did not die by forcible drowning. The attorneys are saying the pathologist never said that, and that is not in the autopsy. So I'm not sure where the government is going with this, but I think I know what the strategy is. I think the government is saying this, and the police probably, because they want to end this investigation. They're going to say she didn't die by forcible drowning, so we're going to end this investigation. I want everybody to know that I have been advised by the attorney that the autopsy does not conclude that she did not die by forcible drowning. As a matter of fact, those persons who saw Dr. Caleb McLaughlin, who witnessed the postmortem, explained that there's a vast difference between someone who died from drowning, than the cause of death which in this case they're saying is drowning, and the manner of death. The postmortem, as far as I'm advised, did not pronounce on the manner of death. And so it is misleading for the government to to say to the nation that she didn't die by forcible drowning. That is not the conclusion of the autopsy, as I have been advised. So the jury is still out on how this child died.
Yeah, yeah. We got another caller on the line. Let's take this other caller. See if I could put up that caller on the live right now. Caller, you're live. Where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, New York. Go right ahead.
Yes, Junior. Good afternoon to your guest.
Hi.
And I just wanted to say what concerned me. I've been following the story, and what concerned me. We're in 2025. I don't know any business or even homes, even your cars has cameras. I don't know any reputable business that doesn't have a camera. And I haven't seen yet on there where the family said, well, the staff was assisting or the staff, came forward to help look for the child. It was nothing like that. It just seems like whoever was there was the only one searching. And then I heard the grandmother said when she went to the attendant at the front, the attendant said, oh, the camera is not working. She ran over to the bar and they told her the camera is not working. And I'm trying to figure out in this day and age, what business does not have cameras? My God, like I'm just trying to get it. And then on top of that, with that, I mean, if it's a reputable business, why is it that the owner or spokesperson or anybody at that night came out and said, oh, well, we're doing everything to try to find that child, if it's on our property, because that's not a name that we want for our business. That's not something that we want to stand on. Why nobody came forward to say nothing? Nobody was saying anything. And then the police tried on 2 occasions to get the family to leave. So to me, that alone, I would start looking to the higher authorities. When it comes to that case, somebody was going to be charged with wrongful death. That is how I see it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, caller. Thank you so much. Let's take one other call, Rickford. I saw you send me some videos as well that we're going to ingest into the
The 2
system.
last ones are the most important.
Okay, cool. We got a caller on the... We have a caller on the WhatsApp. Caller? Okay, turn your background. Hold on. No, hold on. Let me see if I'm gonna take this caller on the WhatsApp, because I'm hearing a lot of... Right, caller on the WhatsApp, are you there?
Yes.
Turn your background down. Like, I'm hearing a lot of background noise. Okay.
You're still here?
No, I'm here. It's fine now. Go right ahead, caller.
Okay. So I'm calling relative to the call a few callers earlier where he said that the top brass of the police force is professional, but you might have some bad eggs. So I want your viewership to know that that's far from the reality in Guyana. If you have a police force that was comfortable in showing the grandmother a cell phone, trying to have the family believe that she joined a bus and she stopped at Stewartville. And if you have the commander of a region telling the family that she joined a Toyota Ram PSS, whatever, they actually give the color of the car.
Hold on, caller. Is that coming from you or that's coming from me? I'm hearing that song every couple of minutes. I'm hearing this loud screaming. Is that coming from your end?
No, I'm getting a clear connection here. Is it better now?
All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Let's try that again.
But I'm trying to make the point that the police force is a sequence of events where they lied to the family, saying the girl joined the bus and she was at Stewartville, saying she joined a car and she was on the West Bank, and all of that. the police could only act dishonorably with that level of comfort because they know they are part of an entire corrupt system.
Right.
Because no less a person than the commander of the division was on the ground and scrolling his phone, trying to have the family believe that he has footage in his phone to show the girl came off at Stewartville. Why would the commander of the West Dem division at Comfort operate like that? I'm submitting to your viewership. It's because he knows he's a part of a system that is totally corrupt, and so there will be no consequences for actions like that. So for one to come on this international platform and to insinuate that the top brass of the police force is intact, is professional, and does not lack integrity, no, it's far from the truth. We know better.
Okay.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. Wow. I keep hearing that feedback and I don't know where you're coming from. Rickford, I know you have a lot to say there. Hold on, Rickford. I know you have a lot to say there, but let me just take this call. That call I've been waiting like forever on the direct call. Let's take that call and we get your comments on the other side. Caller, you live. Where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Queens, New York.
Queens, New York. Go right ahead.
Yes, sir. I wanna add to what that young lady said just now. All right, but I also want to point out that I was a former police officer in Guyana. For 12 years, I served the Guyana police force before I migrated to the United States.
Okay.
I worked as a homicide investigator. All right, which is part of the CID. All right, and I'm going to tell you this: the Guyana police force currently is at its most corrupt. When I worked, there were some corrupt police officers, and we know that we're not going to have a police department anywhere in the world that is devoid of corruption. But the Guyana police force that is today
This call will be recorded.
is a ridiculously corrupted
recorded.
department. The police commissioner admitted publicly that he collected $8 million from an individual, a businessman. That money was supposed to go towards the wedding of another senior officer who's currently charged with 200 and whatever odd number charges of fraud. All right? Police officers are known for taking murder for hire contract. Mr. Burke could tell you this. There was a particular Indian officer. I don't want to say his name right now, but I worked with that gentleman. He was a murderer, collecting money, killed a guy in Barbados, on the East Coast. All right? Shot him dead on the stairs. Recently in Essequibo, in that same region that young lady died, there was a young man who got shot. And the police claimed that he had a gun and he pulled a gun on them and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Next thing is we saw video evidence and photographic evidence that the man was actually in his bed, shot in his bed. His pillow was full of bullet holes. His mattress was full of bullet holes. And the crime chief and the commissioner of police sat at a press conference lying to the public, telling them that this man attacked the police. When the truth came out, neither of them came back and apologized for what they did. Neither of them. So this nonsense about the police force being some good place where, nonsense, garbage. And I'm saying this as a former police officer.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, caller. Thank you so much. Yeah, Rickford, you were saying?
I will explain.
That's what the
Guyana
police
police force.
do. The police.
Sorry, go ahead.
The Guyana police force is utterly corrupt. And not only are they corrupt, but they are doing the bidding of the government. It's a completely politicized police force. And let me tell you something. There's a young man by the name of Azuddin Mohammed who allegedly is going to run for president. He came out of the ruling party. There's some falling out. He was sanctioned by the U.S. government for various alleged crimes with a permanent secretary from the ruling party who was a central executive member of the ruling party. She was a central executive member of the ruling party and the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Home Affairs. They were sanctioned together. This young man, whatever the allegations against him by the US government, I'm sure will be adjudicated. But he's running for president now. He's a sensation in the country, or he's allegedly running for president, or getting ready potentially to run for president. And you know what the government did? Called the FBI. Call in the FBI. They announced it. The president announced it. The vice president announced it. The attorney general announced it. They asked the FBI to help investigate him. Mind you, granted, the US government, maybe through the Justice Department, would have sent some information to them regarding why he was sanctioned and the evidence. Now, that evidence was not manufactured in the United States. That evidence the US got from Guyana, right? And they were able to sanction him. The point I'm making is that because he's running for president, they now want the FBI to investigate him. So they can use the FBI as a football and say, well, it's now the FBI. Why didn't they call in the FBI for this? The other thing I want to point out is that even though all of us called, I'm the first one to call for the commanding officer for that region to be fired. If possible, prosecuted for obstructing justice. They didn't do it. You know when they said they will leave? The people had to go in front there, in front of the police headquarters in that division and block the road. Then they sent police to shoot the people. And I want the rest of the world to know this. In Guyana, this government, this People's Progressive Party government, and the leadership of the Guyana Police Force, or the police force taking instructions from the government does not believe that the people have a right to protest. Whenever you protest, they shoot you. They've shot people and killed them. This same government, every time the People's Progressive Party is in government, protesters are shot and killed. And they use live bullets. They used live bullets in 2012, and they shot and killed 3 protesters. Guess what the protesters were protesting? A hike in electricity rates. And they block a bridge, shoot them and kill them. In Linden, 2 weeks ago, they shot a protester, a man passing, by the way. He was not even part of the protest. Shot him. Why? They shot the people because they were blocking the road. We block roads in a democratic world every time. And you know what the police do? They divert the traffic. They try to talk to you. They bring specialized community affairs officers to talk to you. And they control the traffic. And they protect the protesters. Guyana's government is a dictatorship. It's an autocratic ethnocracy. And they don't believe that people who are opposed to them should block the street. And like Arianna's aunt reminded the president that when he was in opposition, not only did they block streets, there are videos with him picking up a police barricade and throwing it because the police blocked them off from wherever they were protesting. And there are videos showing him attempting to turn over the car of the then foreign minister, a woman, Dr. Cummins. Violence against a female member of parliament, a female minister of the government. And these people send these police officers to shoot and kill you for protesting. Yesterday, they're so reckless, Junior. They went into the Georgetown Hospital compound where some protesters were gathered peacefully and shot the people. Some people were blocking the streets and burning fires. They shot them. Guyana's the only country I know where you get shot if you protest. No, yeah. Some protesters were.
We saw yesterday that they were using rubber bullets as well.
No, they use live rounds. People were shot. Today, people were showing you the slugs, the spent shells on the ground. They use rubber bullets, they use pellets, and they use live rounds.
Okay. All right. Let's take another call here quickly, Rickford. Caller live, where are you calling us from?
Grenada?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Good night, Mr. Junior, and good night to Mr. Buck and the listening audience.
Yes.
Good night.
My take here is not a joke, actually. I watch a lot of Lifetime movies. I'm going to put it that way to make my point. The family need to pay particular attention when they go back next to see the body, anybody listening out in Guyana, to make sure they check the neck and on the back of the head. Any cut, especially that area. And to me, when I look at the body, when they show it by the poolside, that body to me already been killed somewhere and dumped to the pool. Thank you.
All right, caller. Yeah. Rickford, what's the current situation? Hold on, before I ask that, let me take this other call quick. Caller, where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Buffalo, New York.
Buffalo, New York. Go right ahead.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good.
Now, I was born in Guyana 50 years ago. Grew up most of my life, went to school, went to college, went to university. As far as I know, Guyana police force was always corrupt. Was always corrupt. Everybody ever taking pay all the time. Adriana's death has been a tragedy, and it made Guyana come together. I would hope they would find something, because that little girl, but besides that, we're all Guyanese. None of us live there right now. I don't know about anybody else on this program, but none of us live there right now. And I think our main objective is to first calm the country before we escalate anything else. We're all angry, and the government at hand has not been doing a very good job. I agree with everything. I don't live there, but I also concerned about my peoples that are there.
Okay.
It's heartbreaking to see Guyana really gone to shits.
Yeah.
And I hope you guys and the media try to calm this situation down right now.
Yes.
Because, I've watched over and over everything is happening. I don't agree, or I think they should have further investigation into the child's death. But that does not say that we should create more problems for the people of the country. Yes, maybe for the government, but not for the people. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. One last call, Rickford, and we'll get your perspective on all these calls. Caller, you are live. Hold on 1 second, caller. Let me see if I bring that caller up. Caller, you live? We're on the phone lines?
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, caller.
I'm calling from Norfolk, Virginia.
Go ahead, caller. Go ahead, yes.
So I have a couple of different points.
Yeah, make it kind of snappy though, because we don't have a lot of time.
What you're seeing here is the people does not have the faith in the government to do an impartial investigation. There's a loss of confidence in the police force and the government. At the same time, I don't believe in burning. I don't believe in burning people building. I don't believe in destruction of properties, because I believe that you're defeating the point of the protest. You're not going to receive international support if you conduct yourself in a certain way. You will not receive any support. You're going to be labeled as terrorists, right? So I believe that we do protests incorrectly. We don't know how to protest. We protest for 2 mornings and then it's done, right? There's not an established goal. There's not an established timeline. So after 78 hours, you're not going to see anything. They're going to arrest a set of people and then we're going to disappear, right? There's no direction to the protest. It's the same thing over and over, protest 2 morning. Like, we can't go back to just attacking a Chinese store. Chinese not even government. We don't even have no Chinese minister, right? We can't go to looting people's stuff, right? Then you lost the sympathy of the international community. And this is because we have a lack of leadership. Even in the opposition, where's the leadership? So Black people in Guyana is suffering from a lack of leadership, a lack of direction. You can see it in everywhere. So I agree that something needs to be done. I agree that the commissioner should be fired. I agree that we need to figure out, was there an SOP? Did they follow the SOP? And if there wasn't an SOP, then what's the point of having a Minister of Home Affairs? But we cannot go down the road of looting and burning, and everybody in the protest is not about that. There are different elements that come out for their own agenda. But because the protest doesn't have leaders, it doesn't have directors, this is what happened. They're going to derail the entire protest. Who's going to sympathize with you? I bet you Mohammed is not going to come back and say anything about this issue. Because nobody wants to be associated with the burning and the looting and jumping in Chinese store and all kind of thing. That's all I got to say.
Thank you so much, caller. Thank you so much. Rickford?
And let me specifically speak to the violence. None of us advocate for violence. I don't advocate for violence. I don't think any of the leaders in Guyana advocate for violence. I think we abhor violence. There shouldn't be violence. I don't think the people committing violence are genuinely protesting. I think we have to separate the people who are protesting for justice and change and police reform from people who are engaging in criminal activities. So that's the first thing. And I want to say plainly, we don't condone it, we denounce it. We cannot, however, denounce the violence from citizens without denouncing the violence from the police. If you go back and check from the time this incident started, every time the protests degenerated into violence, it was precipitated and provoked by the police. The police would come, shoot at the people would react by going and tear down the place. And like I said, the elements in the protests, the provocateurs are the ones that do that. Let me explain why there's no leadership to the protest activities on the street. The government identifies the people who they deem to be leaders and go after them and charge them with all sorts of fabricated charges. Like right now, they've charged a political representative of the opposition from the East Coast Region 4 with inciting terror, a young lady. That's what they do. So who's going to identify themselves as a leader? Which organization is going to openly identify themselves as supporting the protests? Guyana is not a democracy, and I want the world and the rest of the Caribbean to understand this. The People's Progressive Party government is a dictatorship. They don't believe that people have a right to protest. They deem protests as a crime, as violating the law. The other issue he spoke about in terms of the political leadership, I agree with him. We have a very weak political opposition. And we all have to come together to make it stronger. We all have to come together to embrace our leaders. This is a time when the only change will come in the police force and in the government is with a change of government. Junior, we have to change the government. We have to bring the country back to a democratic society.
Yeah, but
we don't have a democratic government now.
You have a very weak opposition, and you want to change. So who will take the lead?
Well, there's two particular parties in opposition. That's why I'm saying if everybody comes together, you'll have leadership emerging. Now, the other reason the opposition is weak is because the opposition doesn't have resources. We don't have a funded opposition like we have in this country, where the law requires funding at the same level in terms of the legislature. You have a winner take it all government and a constitutional arrangement that allows a party with a majority and the party with the presidency to just run the country, even though the Constitution has very specific provisions where the government has to consult with the opposition and that the opposition must be on certain boards and so on. This government has not respected the Constitution. The opposition plays no role in the government, none. The president does not, for instance, the Constitution requires the president to meaningfully consult with the opposition leader for the appointment of the Commissioner of Police. The Caribbean Court of Justice defined meaningful consultation in a case where they overturned the appointment of the chairman of the Elections Commission in 2020. And in that ruling, they clearly defined what meaningful consultation means: constant engagement until there's a consensus. The government has not consulted. They just went ahead and appoint a retiree as the police commissioner, thereby stagnating progression of the other officers in the police force. The reason they appointed him is because he's a puppet. He's a puppet of the ruling party. He is there to protect them when election comes this year. Same person, he was the commanding officer in Region 10, where the people were in 2012 were protesting the electricity hike. And under his command, 3 people were shot and killed. under his command are in Boston and Escriva was shot and killed, and they lied about the cause of that, about the police engagement. As the callers, several callers said, Mr. Boston was in his bed, they kicked open his door and shot and killed him. Why? He had a store giving competition to one of the ruling party businessmen. And their solution to that was not to increase their marketing, was to get the police to go and kill him. Crindon Bacchus and Golden Grove on the East Coast in Region 4. A police officer in Crindon Bacchus apparently had some dispute over a girl. He conspired with his colleagues to frame Crindon Bacchus and say that he was selling guns and drugs. Sent somebody to call him and the boy go there, shot and kill him. Kevin Andrews, a young man from East Bank, Region 4, Division B, from Grove. Police officer shot and killed him. He was running and said he had a gun. No gun.
Right.
Same situation in Linden. Same situation in Region 5. Under this police commissioner, police lying, framing people. They did it to me all the way in the United States. And then he had the audacity to issue a statement, just like they did now, lying, that I call people and try to extort money. Nothing of the sort.
Right, right.
And so, up to now, no action by the government. The commanding officer is not being fired. They say he's on administrative leave. He will come back. They're going to transfer it to some other part of the country. You know why? They have strategically injected these people into the police force to protect the government's interests. The hotel owner is a friend of the president. The hotel owner is a friend of the commanding officer. They're there to protect their interests. And let me say this, Junior. 5 years ago, a young man, 14 years of age, was killed the exact same way at that hotel. The hotel owner's son and the security guard were charged with the murder, and they got off. The United States State Department just put out a report speaking to the corruption in the Guyana police force, but not only the police force, the judiciary. You have a corrupt government, you have a corrupt police force, and you have a corrupt judiciary.
Yeah.
The
wanted
State Department said that, not Rickford Burke.
I wanted to touch on that because earlier we were speaking in the last segment in regards to other things that happened at that particular hotel. And someone sent me this document that showed April 19th to the 25th, there was some kidnapping, sacrifice preparation. April 24th, there was some other incident. On April 25th, I don't know of which year, there was some sort of incident involving female sacrifice. Again, this information was just sent to me, and it's not confirmed on our end. But it seems as there were a series of this type of events at that particular location, which is very concerning. But hold on, Rick, before you go on, let me just take this other caller right here. This other person has been waiting for a very long time. They say they have to make a substantive point to make on this topic. So let's take this call. Caller, where are you calling us from?
Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn, go right ahead. Make it brief and snappy.
Okay. It is quite known to us that whenever there is a protest, a peaceful picketing, the People's Progressive Party always interject their thoughts. And they give us, when I say us, you could understand what I mean, a few pittance, and they will come out and loot, and whatever they take, they're satisfied. I can recall a few years back when Mr. Khan was in the party, a man was going to Congress Place, taking information, going to German restaurant for 2 packs of cigarette and a bowl of soup. Secondly, with the child's death, I've not heard anyone, not even the police, asking tough questions. For instance, was anybody in the pool after this child was announced that she was disappeared and last seen in and around the pool area? Did they make any requests to immediately, the police I'm talking about, to immediately drain the pool. And thirdly, we cannot trust the Guyana police force. I know that personally. Have a good evening and God bless Guyana. And all the passion that they are taking to the streets, take that same passion to the ballot and we will have a better Guyana.
All right. Thank you, caller. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
We got one last call on here, and that might be our final call because we have a dead stop at the top of the hour. Caller live on the phone line. Go right ahead.
Hello. Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Hey, so I was born and raised in Guyana. I'm in my early 30s. I have migrated to the U.S., but ever since I was growing up in Guyana as a child, this has been something that has been happening repeatedly. I see a lot of persons on the live. You know, you guys are commenting, and we love your support. We accept your support, but you've got to listen to people that were born and raised in Guyana. We have been dealing with this. I agree 100% with Mr. Rick Ford. Everything is corrupt. We have lost all confidence. Everything that is being done now in this case should have been done before. I have joined that live on Thursday night when the child first went missing. That is when we needed the police support. That is when we needed help searching the building. Somewhere in our minds, we all see what an indoor pool looks like. There is nowhere that child went missing at 1:30, where a bunch of people is in the pool. They raise an alarm. We cannot find this child in an 8 feet deep pool. This is not the Atlantic Ocean we're talking about. It's a pool that it's very, very transparent. You can see what is happening. And then this child's body wind up in the pool the next day at 11:30. Even Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles could see that this is all made up and this is a plan. The last caller did say something at the end that take the same energy to the ballot. And every Guyanese on this live, there's no ending point to this if we don't put the ending point to it. If we recall, we can talk about the Henry boys. We can talk about so many cases that are super, super familiar to this. And in closing, I agree with that last caller. This energy that we have now, we need to take it to the ballot. We need to get rid of these people. These people are showing us every single day that they do not care about us. And this is mostly Afro-Guyanese. A lot of people are saying, don't make it about race. Honey, it has been about race. It has always been about race. And we have to get people in there that are going to do the right things in the beginning. They're not going to wait for it to blow out of proportion. Like Mr. Burke said, you know, he doesn't support looting and all of this, but this is not something that happened overnight. This is not the first child that went missing. So I can understand the rage and the anger in which protesters are going out. Do I condone it? No, I don't. Do I understand it? Yes, I do.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much, guys. That was our last call because again we have a very tight stop at the top of the hour. Rick, let's sum it up. What's next? What's next for the family? What happens after this?
Well, what's next is painful in terms of the family. They go on to bury a child, and they don't know what happened. In terms of the Guyana Police Force, like I said, this is now day 7. The Guyana Police Force has not briefed the country. We don't know what happened. We don't know what information they gathered. They can't tell us anything. This is the only police force in the world where a child has gone missing. This is now an international incident, not a press conference. They can't face the press. The crime chief is missing. He's nowhere. All the police commissioner is doing is issuing paper statements. We don't know what information they gathered, who they questioned. We don't know why the 3 police officers are in custody. We don't know nothing. You know why? Because they're putting their ducks in a row to cover this thing up. They have probably been paid, right? And if I am wrong, the police commissioner and his commanders must come out and give us the facts. What information have you gathered? What's the timeline that you have gathered? Who you interviewed? What is happening? How is this investigation going? How is it unfolding? What are the facts? Nothing. That's why the people are Angry. Nothing. Not a damn thing. Nothing. Good God. The police officers don't have family members. The country is burning. Flights to Guyana were yesterday diverted to Piarco International Airport in Trinidad. And this government can't give the nation a briefing on what happened at that hotel. Up to now, we don't know. We don't know. The president issued called a press conference, his first press conference to tell the people, oh, the autopsy was done and they said she died by drowning. The first lady now today issued her first statement saying that she was waiting for the conclusion of the autopsy to give her a condolence. Give me a break. A child has died. It takes you 7 days? They don't care. They don't care. But you see, if this was a child from Port Morant or Edmore or Lenora or something, right? They would have moved all heavens. But this is a poor little girl from a poor village, right? Killed, possibly murdered, but we know she died at a facility owned by a millionaire who finances the ruling party, who's a friend of the president, who's a friend of the commanding officer. And all of them rushed there to protect him and failed that little child. The Guyana police force failed that little child. If it's the last thing anybody listening to this program tonight must go with in their subconscious, is that the police guarded the hotel while the girl was dying inside and blocked her parents from entering to save her life.
All right. Rickford, thank you so much for coming and giving us that side. And I'm sure, as we do all the time, there will be pushback to this very said program here. We do open up the platform to get the different perspective, as we say that everyone has a story to tell. So the government of Guyana, who I'm sure is watching the program, may have a difference of opinion, of projection, whatever. I'm not saying that they will be, but I'm saying that they might be. And we do open the platform to hear everyone's perspective. As we say on Right Along Live, everyone has a story to tell. Rickford, thank you so much. And again, condolences to the family, to the father, to the mother, to the brothers, the sisters, everybody. Condolences here from Right Along Live. Rickford, thank you for chiming in.
Thanks for having me. Good night to you and your listeners.
Thank you so much, guys. Guys, we have a hard stop at the top of the hour. So we have to wrap it up here. But again, guys, this is a serious issue. One thing I want to say about this, guys, we understand that people are, they are in despair. People are angry, frustrated over what happened. And I don't see why they should not be, right? The family, they are right now at the wit's end, right? They don't understand what's happening. And especially yesterday, the information that was posted that it was not drowning. It was drowning, sorry. That frustrated a lot of people. And I could understand why they are frustrated. But I just want to say this. I'm in a place right now where I want everybody to just let good sense prevail, right? Because I'm seeing that there have been a lot of fires, a lot of buildings that have been damaged. There have been, yesterday, there have been a lot of things happen, cars burnt and stuff like that. No one is coming to help us or to save us, right? So let good sense prevail from the police end and from the civilian end. We don't want to mash up the police, guys. Don't mash up the police. Whatever needs to happen, if the government need to come out and explain to the people, put an ease to this mess that's happening, come out and do what needs to be done. But please, let's end this right now. We don't want to see more fires. We don't want to see more people getting killed. We don't want to see more people getting shot. We don't want to see more places being burnt at the end of the day. And then we mash it up in our own home. That's our own home. And that's where we have to live. My friends and family in Guyana, for the protesters, for the police, everyone, I hope good sense could prevail and we all could get through this I don't see how it would happen because this is a very, very, very serious situation, but I'm just begging for good sense to prevail on all sides. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for being a part of our program. We said that we hope that there will be information from the other side that could come, that wants to come in and share the information with us. We do open the platform for conversation. Right along live where everyone has a story to tell. Catch you guys again tomorrow. Good night.
What if you had a choice? A choice of joining a line or a choice of making your purchases online? What would you choose? While you ponder on that, the National Lotteries Authority has provided another purchasing option. All their games are now available online. Yes, Grenadians! From wherever you are, purchase your favorite daily and jackpot type games using any electronic device. Register on the NLA's website at www.nla.gd. Top up your account and enjoy online lottery gaming at your convenience. We're taking shopping comfort up, up, up several notches. But the choice is yours. Join a line or buy online. NLA, make your dreams come true.
Looking for the ultimate island experience? Hop on the Ride Tuk Tuk Rum Punch Tour and explore Grenada like never before. Feel the tropical breeze, sip on authentic Caribbean rum punch, and cruise through Grenada's stunning scenery in our unique and fun tuk-tuks. It's the perfect blend of adventure and island flavor. Book your unforgettable tour now at ride.gd or call 473-422-1011. Don't just see Grenada, experience it with Ride Tuk Tuk Rum Punch Tours today. Are you looking to take your business or event to the next level? Advertise on Ride Along Live and reach over 10 million viewers worldwide every month. With a global audience tuning in for the latest news, entertainment, and culture, your message will get the exposure it deserves. Don't miss the opportunity to showcase your brand to a diverse and engaged audience. Ride Along Live, where the world watches and your business grows. Contact us.
Ride along live, worldwide. Feel the beat, feel the vibe. Amazing host leading the ride. Power to the people, we shine. Giving fans what they need. Caribbean spirit, let's succeed. Every show with a good deed. Together we plant the seed. Ride along, join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong, with the host we belong. Energy